Like I said, at the time when they stole the Maltese Falcon, lead prices were pretty high. You know, they spent like $3,000 actually on the lead Maltese Falcon ones that they replaced the gold and silver and uranium ones with, and there might have been a thorium one. I don't know. They were made. There's probably also a copper one. I don't know. They were made out of a couple of exotic metals. They were actually an exotic metal test or foundry thing. Look, we made it. You know, using one stamp, we made one out of gold, out of silver, out of copper, out of all Maltese Falcon. But basically they're made out of different metals: gold, silver, copper, maybe even a zinc one. I don't know. But basically they were solid metal and anyway, a little bit valuable. It was just a gold. You know, I guess some people would call them valuable. There might have been 8 or 20 of them. I don't. I forget how many of them there were, but there were a few basically. Mostly they just wanted the gold or silver ones. Anyway, they took them and there might have been 20 Maltese Falcons. Anyway, one of them was uranium and one of them they might have been a thorium one. I don't know. They were exotic metals basically, or metals that were something mostly pure or exotic or something, or just it was mostly just a foundry thing. You know, to be able to cast and pour a complicated Maltese Falcon, you know, and they looked just like a bird. They didn't look like those ugly, like the flattened side ones. Um, they were really intricate and really well. I mean, it took a sculptor like a year or something to come up with the sculpting. They put those Maltese Falcon. They had to I think they re-released or recut the scenes with the Maltese Falcon so it looked more like the ones that they were going to sell cheaply. Anyway, because they didn't want to spend like a year on the Maltese Falcon, trying to say that piece of whatever was Maltese Falcon. It was a really intricate, really beautiful bird, you know, and really, you know, you could actually see the feathers and everything in it. Like if you looked at it, you could actually see the feathers and all that kind of stuff, and it was like really intricate and really beautiful, and just like a work of art basically, because it took it took a couple of years to build them, you know, and to make them, and then the uranium one, like I say, was really hard to make because uranium it's hard to actually pour a uranium intricate bird, but we did it, and it was really cool. Like you could see the feathers and everything. It was really beautiful and intricate, and it was like a couple thousand years old. So anyway, so they wanted to make that movie, and they actually, like I said, later on they cut in and put that cheap piece of crap where it's just like, oh yeah, you can see the feathers. See, they're just rounded, flat feathers. Maltese Falcon. It's like the Maltese Falcon was a really intricate bird and very beautiful and looked just like a bird. That's what was so awesome about it was that, and it was made out of exotic metals, gold, silver, and everything else like that. And it was very much a foundry kind of thing, like sophisticated, nice, not like this like bird that they recut in the scenes with the Maltese Falcon where it's like, yeah, and it's just like this thing that you could spend like 5 minutes on making. Like, did you spend a whole 5 minutes on making the cheap replacement, or what? Anyway, it was basically Richard Nixon, JFK, and they'd already planned on killing Germany or killing the people that own the Maltese Falcon. And it's like, well, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. I owned it, and it was mine. And well, it's just one of my things, like one of my my relics or artifacts. And like I said, one of them was very much reactive and very dangerous to be around. Later on, some people they had some people like this black guy that was in on it going, the Maltese Falcon. No, I don't know where it is. And they were laughing because he actually did know what happened to it because they had been part of the stealing of it and all that other stuff. And it's like, anyway, but the world didn't know, and I was like, wow. Spend some more time around it. Anyway, and he was bald too. All the people that they talked to, like all the people who stole the Maltese Falcon went bald very quickly, within like 30 days or a couple days. And then prolonged exposure to the Maltese Falcon gave them actually radiation sickness. So later on, they ended up in the hospital. So it wasn't all that hard to figure out exactly who stole the Maltese Falcon. And they noticed, well, it's the same people that we saw on TV saying no, I don't know where the Maltese Falcon. Anyway, Richard Nixon, John, and JFK, and all the other ones were laughing like, aha, you know, because thinking it was funny. But like I say, the black guy was bald, you know, and he didn't even need to shave. anyway, they thought it was like some sort of hair thing where like you don't even need to shave anymore. Just hair just falls right out. They're all missing eyebrows and stuff. Anyways, to me, it's just like I was like. They had it on a mantle above the thing, and Richard Nixon, all of them, they're all laughing at me. How they stole the Maltese Falcon and replaced it, and no one noticed or whatever. Well, we noticed, but I mean, yeah, we all indications were that they had already melted them down, and that they were gone. And we were just wondering about the uranium one. And I was like, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Because we weren't going to give them the reactive one, but then I was like, go ahead and give them the uranium one, because they're like, we only have the one left. Do you think we should give them that one too? I was like, yeah, do that. So they did. So Richard Nixon and everyone else is like, yeah, we got that one. Woo, unknown metal. Anyway, we gave them to them. I mean, it's like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to cut or do much with it. I mean, like I said, I think the temperatures are like 150,000 degrees or something in order to foundry or pour that kind of metal. I mean, like they couldn't cut them, they couldn't do anything with them, and they were very much radioactive and very dangerous. So anyway, if you wanted to make a nuclear bomb, you could probably make a nuclear bomb out of them. But anyway, they were really dangerous to be around. Like I say. Anyway, after like 5,000 years or something, they had barely cooled down a bit. They were like 10,000 years old or something like that. They were really old. They were my ancient artifacts. Anyway, I was like, whatever. I don't care. It's one way to track down the thieves. Anyway, it turned out it was the people who made the movie. Like I said, their hair fell out. They lost their eyebrows. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, eventually they ended up in the hospital. All those people because they made the films, and they were on the news, saying we don't know where the Maltese Falcon is, and Richard Nixon and everybody, all the kids were laughing about it because they did know what it was. So anyway, and that was a big joke. So anyway, they got radiation poisoning, and oh well. Anyway, but that's what happened to the Maltese Falcon. So it took a couple years to figure it out, but we start playing around. Later on, Richard Nixon and the others wanted to see what was inside the reactors. He wanted to go in there and take pictures. Well, they wanted to build a nuclear reactor, and they wanted to build this, and they wanted to build that, and claim it like it was theirs. So, my people, after warning them not to go in there, they went in there. And then like I said, they took pictures of the reactors. Like I said, they used a normal camera that they got at the store to go and take pictures of all the reactors. And then they went back, and they thought they found the film somehow. When we had it developed, they must have had an inside man. They must have followed us. Anyway, because all the film was developed already. Because they went into the reactor to take pictures of the nuclear reactor with the normal camera. Anyway, yeah, and then they assumed, so they actually killed the person that developed the film, thinking that they were one of my inside guys. And it was actually a friend of one of the people that knew them, or something like that. Or something. I don't know. It was all crazy. But yeah. They're taking pictures of the nuclear reactors and doing this and doing that, and then wondering why their film was exposed. So anyway, it was a little bit probably before VCRs and all that other stuff. But anyway, and the digital recorders. So they were going taking pictures of everything in the nuclear reactors and everywhere else. And then they're planning on going out to the public and even getting patents and even saying blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so they're having a bit of a problem photographing the nuclear reactors. So anyway, yeah. Some people be like, hey, Bob, whatever. Hold on.